Now we are on the Monastiraki Square. Monastiraki literally means little monastery. It's Easter Sunday, and in Greece it's typical to roast the lamb, how you can see it here. It is typical meal during Easter Sunday after long 40 days of fastings. Greeks roast the lamb and all family meet up and eat lamb. In front of us is Mosque, Tsisterkis Mosque. Tsisterkis Mosque is an Ottoman mosque built in 1759 in Monastiraki Square. The mosque was also known as Mosque of the Lower Fontaine or Mosque of the Lower Market from its proximity to the ancient Agora of Athens. A few years later, when the plague broke out, locals imputed the disease to the desecration of the ancient temple, and the mosque was quickly dumped as cursed. For the following centuries, the building served an array of purposes. Today, it's only mosque in Athens city that is open to visitors. It housed an impressive collection of ceramics from Greece, Cyprus, and Ottoman Turkey as a part of Museum of Greek Folk Art. The area is named after the church of Pantanassa that is located within the square that was built around the 10th century during the period of Byzantine Empire. The chapel still stands today across the train station and has become one of the neighborhood's major attractions. Monastiraki is located among the most well-known neighborhoods and sites of Athens, bordering with Dision neighborhood on the east, Syntagma Square on the west, and Acropolis Hill, as well the picture square of Plaka on south. The famous square is always full of life, buzzing with cheerful jive and a happy atmosphere. Landing in Monastiraki right after your arrival to Athens is a perfect way to get 360 degrees view of Athens and catch a glimpse of what a city is all about. Majestic monuments, a vibrant nightlife, unblemished architecture, and is a home to an abundance of restaurants, rooftop bars, cozy cafes, and of course, numerous souvlaki joints. Hadrian's library was created by Roman Emperor Hadrian in AD 132 on the north side of Acropolis of Athens. The buildings followed a typical Roman Forum architectural style, having only one entrance with a propylon of Corinthian order. The library was on the eastern side where rolls of papyrus books were kept. Adjoining halls were used as reading rooms and the corners served as lecture halls. During Byzantine times, 3 churches were built at a site, the remains of which are preserved. Tower of Winds is a part of ancient Roman Agora. It was believed by later generations to be a place of great magic and to be grave of Philip of Macedon, but it was actually a meteorological station 12 meters tall clock tower from the 1st century built by Syrian astronomer Andronikos Kirhestes. Meteorological station was telling the time of the day by the position of the sun in the sky, and water clocks with water coming down from the Acropolis and wind weighing. Plaka is in the heart of center of Athens, just under Acropolis Hill, has a totally different vibe than the rest of the city center, creating a feeling of nostalgia of the old Athens. Even though it's a very commercial and popular with tourists, it is an ideal place to enjoy a nice walk, as there is plenty of things to do and see while strolling around its small pedestrian streets. Plaka is considered the area that developed around the ancient Agora of Athens and its oldest district in Athens, and it has been continuously inhabited for around 3,000 years. Plaka has a long history and has played an important part in Athenian life, with many famous people having walked along its streets, from Pericles and Alexander the Great to Lord Aegean and Lord Byron, while many well-known Greek writers, actors, and artists have lived here. At the northern foot of Acropolis and the junction of Erechtheos and Vireitanium Street is the church of Ario Anarghiri. With its picture square courtyard and neighboring simple neoclassical building where Exarchate of Holy Sepulchre is located is one of the most beautiful places in Plaka, which is closely associated with celebration of Resurrection as a holy light from Jerusalem arrives here every year. The temple was built in 17th century on site where in antiquity there was a temple of the goddess Aphrodite. Later on was a temple turned to the monastery. Convert was originally female and later turned male. The church is single-aisle vaulted basilica with porch and nave in the vestibule. The north side of the roof rises the later white marble belfry with strong classicist elements. Ancient architectural members have been used in the constructions of its walls, while several ancient remains of the area are gathered in the courtyard, witnesses of old, long history. There is also a series of cells of the old monastery. When Athens was under Ottoman rule, Plaka was known as Turkish Quarter of Athens. Between 60s and 80s, Plaka was very different than you will witness today. Instead of being a tourist destination, it was heart of nightlife in Athens. During the 70s, many discos and bars were operating in the area, making it very lively with the Greek people filling the streets. Nowadays, Athenians nightlife has moved to other areas of capital like Psiri, Gazi, and Monastiraki, making Plaka more of daytime neighborhood. In Plaka, you will find many museums which are worth visit. Museum of Greek Folk Museum Instruments, Phrisiras Museum, Jewish Museum, the Athens University Museum, the Museum of Pavlos and Alexandra Kanepoulou, and the Venizelos Mansion, the oldest house in Athens which now operates as a museum. You may notice that there are several restaurants with the tables in the street. In fact, it will be difficult to not notice because every time you pass one, a waiter or host tries to pull you over to see the menu. You can sit on street or under the tree in the park, and this is a good restaurant to have your first Greek meal, and don't worry, all waiters speak English. Cafes are generally a little pricey if they are on the main road and around the squares, but in the way worth for the view. Plaka is full of souvenir shops, especially on Adriano Street. You will find all kinds of souvenir shops with Greek local products or t-shirt shops. You will also find many jewelry shops, some of them being artist-owned with stunning handmade pieces. Whatever you like to do, watching people shopping, eating, or wandering around, the Plaka is a great area. The Plaka is like a small island in the middle of the city.
Czy sa ti zapáčilo?
Dúfam, že aké majú že napríklad hej, to je ako krížik, to máš aj ako grécku vlajku, to evokuje. Páči tie farby.
On the Makriani side of Plaka is a monument, Lysikratus, built to commemorate a series of plays. It is the last remaining of many which line what is now Tripodon Street. You can enter the site, is free, and walk on the ancient road that used to be Tripodon Street. There are many interesting structures and buildings in the archaeological site. Getting to Plaka is relatively easy, as Athens has good metro system. The limits of Plaka can be roughly defined with Makreanieria to south, the temple of Olympic Zeus, and Hadrian Arc to the east, Syntagma and Ermu area to north, and Monastiraki to west. It has two main streets, Hidathinon and Adrianou, and many little labyrinth-like pedestrian streets around these two. The Plaka is loaded with archaeological sites, both large and small. The whole area around the Roman Agora is surrounded by tavernas. It seems like everywhere you look in the Plaka, there is evidence of some past civilizations, being in Greek, Roman, or Ottoman Turkish. In some places, the pavement has been opened to reveal ancient columns and houses. The archaeologists have sacrificed many of beautiful old buildings of 19th century to expose the ancient sites and have spoiled the area. Plaka is without a doubt one of the most picturesque neighborhoods in Athens, with its narrow streets, lovely neoclassical buildings, small cafes, traditional tavernas, souvenir shops, and ancient ruins in almost every corner. I hope that you liked this video and you found it helpful. I'm so excited to bring you a new video where we will walk in an amazing area reminding Greek islands called Anarghiri. Then do not hesitate and hit the like button, subscribe, and leave your comment. Don't forget to click on notification bell that you will not miss any video. And see you the next time. Bye bye!